Hey everybody, welcome back to Riffs and Rides. This is Barry, and today I'm going to be doing Fleetwood Mac. This is off the Rumors album, and you may ask, what song are you going to do off Rumors album? Because every single song on the Rumors album is great. Well, I'm going to be doing The Chain. I love this song. I love the dynamics of it. I love the drums in it. I think one of the, almost one of the crimes is that Lindsey Buckingham doesn't get he's just great. He just doesn't get the recognition that he deserves for being a great guitarist. And the acoustic playing on this is excellent. And the vocals are just, well, it's Fleetwood Mac. What do you expect? The vocals are fantastic. So let's just jump on in here. Okay, guitar players. It almost sounds like two acoustic guitars playing at the same time. And a lot of it's because part of it's coming in this side, part of it's coming in this side. But my question is, and I know a lot of players like Chet Atkins and some of those guys, Roy Clark, some of these guys made it sound like two guitars because they were just that damn good. Lindsey, I think, is probably the same way. Would you put him up there in that same category? I'm going to back this back up again. We'll just start it over. Just listen for if you're listening, just tell me what you think. Also, too, here's the cool thing. That at the very beginning, if you can hear it, you can actually hear, I guess, Lindsey moving around on a stool or a chair or something before he starts playing. It's kind of neat. I love to be able to hear that kind of the ambient noise that you get sometimes. If I would have just waited, I could have answered my own question. The guitar in the right side is actually electric. So I hear the acoustic over here, I hear the electric over here. Once the volume got up a little more, I got it. I could hear the distortion. It's really hard not to sing to this because I love this song. Who else was in love with Stevie Nicks in the late 70s and early 80s? I was. I thought she was the most beautiful thing in the world. And I love her voice. and I loved everything about her, and I love Fleetwood Mac.
Listen to the wind blow, down comes the night. Run in the shadows, damn your love, damn your life. Break the silence, damn the dark, damn the light.
And here's the thing about Stevie Nicks that I did not realize. All those years of listening to her, I never, I guess I was just always mesmerized by her voice, the graveliness of it. But I was watching The Charismatic Voice. She does reaction videos, and she is a vocal coach. Opera singer, and she pointed out that Stevie Nicks actually sings. She's got a very low voice. Her tone is low, and I never really realized that. So, like when you're hearing the high parts in this, that's not Stevie. That's Christine McVie really singing the high parts. I don't know why I never really thought about it, but maybe that's part of what makes her voice so unique is that it's kind of a low. You remember Bonnie Tyler had a low voice like that too, but for some reason you knew Bonnie Tyler's voice was low, but I never picked it up with Stevie until watching the video on it. So if you get a chance, go check out The Charismatic Voice. Her videos are really, really cool if you want to understand how the vocals, how people sing these songs. Really cool.
And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain.
So, actually, during all that was Lindsey Buckingham who was singing the high parts, and Stevie was singing the lower parts in that. So, Lindsey had a pretty high voice herself. Awesome song. Awesome song. So let me point out something real quick about Mick Fleetwood as a drummer. You know, people talk about Ringo and how Ringo's underrated as a drummer and all these things, which is true. The thing with Ringo's like some of his drum parts were very unique. It was like there were parts that he would come up with that just about no other drummer would probably ever come up with. And it works so well. That's the genius of Ringo. And Mick Fleetwood kind of had the same thing going. He would come up with drum parts like that most drummers that's just not what they would have played, and he plays. Not so much on this song, but there's a couple other songs that you go, man, that's pretty cool that he came up with that idea, to play. So great band, Fleetwood Mac. They started in the '60s, and they had so many lineup changes, and so many just fantastic musicians have come and gone through that band, and this was probably by far the most recognizable version of Fleetwood Mac. Maybe the most successful. I'd say the most successful too, but just their careers just span for a long time. They're such a great band. They really were. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please click like down below, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you subscribe, please click the little bell, and then that way you'll get notifications every time I release new songs, which is usually every Thursday and Sunday. I'll put stuff out. And hey, we'll see you next time here on Riffs and Rides. Appreciate it.